Good morning.
Môre.
Ja, this is is a glad morning. What is a gelukkige dag?
Happy
A
morning.
happy morning.
Glad morning.
Jeez, I lost my English quickly this week. So, yeah. We received citizenship yesterday when we opened our emails. It was there. They said, congratulations, you are now citizens of New Zealand. So that's a good thing. So we just need to do the ceremony now, and then we can get our black passports. And then the world is our oyster.
Yeah, this is
And-
what we've been waiting for.
Yeah, I had a few people call me, and I had a few people ask me questions regarding this. So one question was, am I going to Australia? Answer is no.
No.
The second question was, how long before I can go on the dole now?
Oh,
I don't know. So sorry about that one.
do you have to be a citizen?
I don't know. I don't have the faintest
Okay,
idea. I've got no
anyway.
plan to go on the dole, so I'll be one of those stupid people who work for the rest of my life. But we had quite a journey to get to this point here. And I think the fact that we wanted citizenship was probably the carrot?
Yeah, the one thing that
The one
kept
thing that
us
was
going.
always in our mind that kept us going day after day. Because this woman told me one day, I'm not coming to New Zealand if I can't stay there permanently for the rest of my life. So I had to make a plan.
And you did.
I did. So my plan worked.
Yeah. We thought this morning we will just share. I know some of you already heard it, maybe most of you already heard it, but just share our journey from the time that we decided to immigrate until now that we've received our citizenship. I think the point that we want to make is just to say, don't give up.
That's the most important thing,
Because
really.
sometimes it really feels like it's not worth it and you don't want to carry on with this journey. But if you just keep on going and pull through, in the end, it's all worth it.
Yeah.
So I think let's start. Maybe you can tell us, because it wasn't my decision to immigrate. So what made you decide to immigrate?
It's 20 years now that I've been an insurance broker. I've worked with a lot of older people as well in South Africa, and I saw how what happened to them once they are old and once they go on pension and so on, and they get locked up in these little either rooms or houses. They lock them up in their own houses. They go nowhere. And at that stage, I just thought, geez, I don't want to grow old in this country, and I have to not be able to even go out of my own house. At that stage, that was about in 2013 when I had this first realization that this is not the way to live. And I just had this longing to be somewhere where I can be really free. I know people regard that as being locked up in your own house as being free. I know that there is people like that, but it wasn't me. So each to its own. For me, freedom was the fact that I can leave my door open, the fact that I can get out of my car not being assaulted or mugged, and that I can grow old somewhere where people will look after me. That was the most important thing. And then I realized, as the life is happening now, and I saw a lot of youngsters leave South Africa, I said to the wife, we're going to be stuck in South Africa, and we're going to be stuck there, and our kids would have left the country. And then we'll be that old people who tells everybody on Facebook and all their friends, my kids doesn't come and visit me anymore. So I don't want to be that old people, so we decided to leave. So just good morning to everybody who said good morning. Yeah. So
yes, and then
I had to get her on board. That's probably
I didn't know why the heck. The sun is really.
The sun is this morning. It's the first time that we have the sun from this side. Actually,
for me, it was actually, I knew in my head that this was the right thing to do, but my heart just didn't play along. So I really. Ek het 4 voetig vasgeskop.
She did not want to go.
Want to go.
Not even think about it.
So then he said, okay, let's go to New Zealand and just see what it looks like, and if it is a place that we will be able to live.
So at that stage, I met up with a guy called Herman Root, and I'm actually going to thank him this morning for what he's done to me and the wife, and
for us, not
for
to
us, not to us, for us. So it's been a journey with him as well, and he's part of the reason why I am in New Zealand today. So
Yeah. We all have that one person, I think,
And
that
sometimes
is
they
your...
kick you under your ass as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Either help you or kick you under your ass.
Yeah.
It's one of those two things.
So then we came to New Zealand for 2
Mhm.
weeks in the middle of the winter. I think it was June or in June, beginning of July or something, because he said, let's go in the winter. So that we know it can't get any worse than that. Let's see what it looks like in winter.
Auckland was windy and shitty, and then we went to Wellington.
Yeah.
And you know what happened? I just thought, geez, I can't live in Wellington. This is a horrible place. It was raining like this the whole time. The wind was blowing about 500 kilometers an hour. It was crazy. And then she said, oh, I love Wellington. I thought, oh,
you know what?
There's no way I'm going to stay there.
But he also said, we go to New Zealand, we can live wherever you want to.
In my mind, I knew I had to change you. Wellington's not the place. So,
but I'm glad we ended up in Tauranga, so that's fine.
So we did the ticket tour of 2 weeks through New Zealand.
Yes.
So Tauranga.
And it was really, I tell everyone, for me, it wasn't a holiday. It was like 2 weeks from hell.
Yeah. I fully agree.
Emotionally, it was really...
And we were on the 2 weeks, we were on the verge of a fight every day.
Yes.
And we had about 9 divorces in that period of time. So,
just before we came, I started to get panic attacks as well because of this whole immigration. I think that was just the thing that brought it on. So I think it was the second night that we were in Auckland.
Yep.
I had one again.
Fully fledged in hospital.
And I had to go to hospital because I knew that I had to get some medication. Otherwise, I wasn't going to last the 2 weeks because it makes you so tired. I don't know if anyone knows what it's like, but it's something that goes on all night long. And the one attack just triggers the next one.
And the joke was we only needed a few pills.
And I knew exactly what I needed. And I told the guy, I need that. But no, it's ECGs and it's blood tests.
And every time before we do blood tests, they have to take my South African bank card and we got to go and pay. And pay.
So, but in the end, he gave me exactly what I wanted. And I think
we spent about $500 in total just for the ECG, the blood test, blah, blah, blah.
And then
the pills cost, I will never forget, this cost $9.
Okay, but then at least I was able to finish the tour.
Yeah.
But every day it was like, I don't know, my mood was just all over. I'll get up in the morning and I'll be so excited to come to New Zealand. And I'll tell him, oh my word, this is so beautiful and I can't wait to live here. And the next day I'll get up and I would be in tears and so angry because why does he want to leave South Africa?
And then we will arrive probably, let's say, in Napier and just say, I like that. I thought, geez, it looks better than Wellington. Okay, we one step closer.
So it was not a nice 2 weeks.
And then we'll drive into Rotorua and she'll say, oh, place is stinking. Okay.
But yeah, in the end, we decided, okay, it's a good thing. I said, it's okay. We can immigrate.
And that was also the first year, and people will find this interesting. It was also the first year that we got snow between Rotorua and Tauranga. I've never seen it ever after that. Yeah.
Yes.
So we had snow in that period of time because we drove past Whakapapa. We didn't know how to get up to the top. We just saw it from Desert Road, drove to Rotorua, to first stop Rotorua, and then we had snow next to the road. So Desert Road also had snow. That's where you played in there.
And then we had to get the ball rolling.
Yep. And then everything happens like this.
Yeah, but that was really hard for me. I knew we were going, but it's like I just wanted to hold back all the time. I couldn't get myself to do anything. I couldn't get myself to start packing. In my mind, I just had this thing that I have to say goodbye to everyone and I won't be able to do it. And how can we leave everything behind? It was really hard for me. So then the panic attacks was just full on. For 3 months, I was so sick.
And in the meantime, I had to arrange everything, get the house sold some of the cars, and
I told him then,
get the boys settled into college and went to uni and into domestic residence.
I said to him then, it's okay, we can immigrate, but I'm telling you, I'm not doing anything. You'll have to do all the paperwork. I didn't do any. I just couldn't. I couldn't get myself to do anything. I was really very sick.
Between June, July that we were in New Zealand into February. No, let's say into June, July until the 1st of January, because that was actually 1st of January. We sold our house, we sold a car, we got the boy into lodgings for his university going forward for that year, because he was supposed to stay behind for a year. And then, when did we go for medicals? Basically,
September. We went in September. I remember.
September. And then they started asking questions up and down, up and down. Eventually, they wanted to have an ECG.
Yeah, and for me, she told me it was a very nasty doctor. I just didn't like her at all. She was very hard on us, and she told me, because I've got high blood pressure, but like in really high. I am on medication, but as soon as I get into a situation that's really stressful, my blood pressure is just through the roof.
Goes crazy.
So she was taking my blood pressure like every 2 hours, and she was telling me, you'll never get into New Zealand with this blood pressure. So that made me, I was thinking, oh my word, what if I'm the reason that we can't go? It was really not fun.
And then it turned out I was the reason that
he was the problem, not me. Yeah, so then you can tell your story.
Immigration New Zealand came back and said, where's the time? Immigration New Zealand came back and said, guys, it's fine, everything else is fine. We just need a stress ECG. That can only be done with a cardiologist. Now, to find a cardiologist in a short period of time was absolutely impossible. So we just popped off to Somerset West. It was the nearest cardiologist, and did the stress ECG, said something was wrong, asked me to do an angiogram, went in for angiogram, and we got the sad news that I would need a few heart bypasses at that stage. That was something like the Wednesday, and I went in on the Monday. The Monday was cut open from top to bottom. They did 5 heart bypasses, and at that stage, we thought all our New Zealand dreams was just poof. I contacted the immigration lawyer. I contacted Hammond Root. I said, guys, this is what's happened, what's going to happen. And they just said, hang in there. We'll wait for you.
And they never gave up.
They never gave up. I think we gave up more than what they gave up. So
yeah, we'd be down in the dumps. And then
sad enough, he has died in the meantime, our immigration lawyer.
Yes.
But I would have loved to have him, or just to phone him yesterday and say, it has happened. So,
yes. Yeah, he was there all the way.
He was there all the time for us.
Even during your operation, when you had your surgery and stuff, he kept on messaging me and just finding out how are you. And
I was probably worried I'm going to have to pay him.
Oh, shame.
That's just joking.
And so then...
And then the recovery period became apparent that we need to recover for a period of time. I was booked off from work. That was I forced myself to get better because I was going to New Zealand. Nothing was holding me back. Within 3 months, I was basically back operational up to a point, but I should have actually taken another 6 months, but that was all good. And then the process started again.
Yeah, because by that time, I mean, I resigned in January.
We sold our house. We were living with friends in a small place. Because we were just there for another month, and now we had this long recovery period. Eventually, we talked so much about immigration. They immigrated.
Yes, they immigrated to the UK, and we were still in South Africa. But anyway, good on them.
I'm glad they left. Yeah.
Yes.
And then our journey through South Africa became, because we didn't know if we are going to stay.
Yes.
And are we going to go to New Zealand? And we decided to have a look and see where else we can go. Because we were tired a bit of the city. So we lived in Airbnbs. We moved all the way around from on the Garden Route all the way up to Kakamas, Uppington, Kimberley, you name it. We saw the whole country. Yeah,
it was a nice time because we had the time to go back and visit all the places that we knew as
and it gave us some closure as well.
It did, yeah. So, and then, by that time, now you really am to go to New Zealand, and now you see what South Africa is like, and you're thinking,
don't come visit the places that you knew as a kid. Don't.
And then I was just like, I don't want to stay here. I want to go. But then we had this thing hanging over our heads that maybe we won't be able to go.
Mm.
So I remember we decided it will probably be like the Garden Route or somewhere that we will settle.
And we were in the Garden Route. We were there in Diaz the one evening, and we decided the specific date. I can't remember the date. It was something in February. We decided if nothing has happened in February from immigration side because they became quiet, then we are pulling the plug on going to New Zealand. We've got to start our life over because we've been hanging in limbo for more than a year now.
Yeah, you can't keep on living like that. Yeah.
And the night before we had the line in the sand, if you want to call it, it was late evening. I just had a message from Herman, and he said, did you look at your emails yet? I said, no. And I just went into the emails and said, congratulations, you've got residency in New Zealand.
My word.
That was probably the first step in this wonderful journey that has concluded yesterday.
Yeah.
So
it was an amazing feeling. I think everyone that has received this residence will know what it feels like. But I think for us, it was just like we've been in limbo for a year and a few months. It was really long, and the feeling that we've kind of realized that it's not going to happen. So for it to then happen, it was a huge thing.
I was always saying, I think just don't think immigration know how to say no, you can't come. They're just waiting for us to phase out eventually. But they came through, so thanks to them.
Yes. And then it really everything just went really fast. We bought our tickets.
We had to send our passports, get passports back, buy the tickets.
And we flew on the 4th of March.
Yep.
So there wasn't a lot of time. And at least we had time to say goodbye to all the family because we were visiting them and staying with them, all of them, for a while.
I think that
so it was a good thing.
It was a wasted year in our life, but it was a good year.
It was a good thing. Yeah. It was a good
thing. We both needed that. Thinking back now, I know that I needed that. So
Diane is asking, how did we get residency?
We were probably one of the last people that got into
then
that
you
old
could
system.
Still apply for residence while you're still.
It was 2 weeks after we've applied for our expression of interest at that stage. They changed everything. They changed the rules. The people thereafter had to do the English test. So
we were lucky. We didn't have to do that.
Yep. We were very, very lucky. And then we arrived in New Zealand. I had to learn the new way of doing things here. I had to relearn a lot of my old South African bad traits. I had to learn to drive slower.
Oh, yes.
I had to learn to be more patient with people as well. So, because the South African stuff just happened. But
I think it changes a lot of who you are in a good way, because I told him when we got here, in South Africa, you have to be kind of harsh when you're speaking, especially in a business sense. If you want to get something done, you have to be really hard on the people and just kind of, you have to, it's just the way that it is. New Zealand, if you do that, they don't work with you. They don't take it. Yep. So you have to kind of work on yourself. You can't get things done the same way that you did in South Africa.
I was going to comment on the other side. Zan, that is our daughter-in-law, saying, and then a 2-year long-distance relationship started for Zan and I, because at that stage, Zan has even finished university. So we could bring him. Well, she's in hospital this morning, so we're thinking about you down there in the hospital bed, so we'll call you a bit later.
Yeah. And well, that started 2 years for them, and they're married now. So
things do happen. Yeah. Then we started our own business.
Okay, now then we came to New Zealand.
Oh, you're still there?
Where are you?
Okay, no. Let's go there.
We lived in an Airbnb for about, how long was it? 49 days.
Oh, we were 9 days in Auckland, and then 40.
I think it was 49 days
or something. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
We were so fortunate. The day that our stay in our Airbnb ended was the day that we could move into our.
It was actually 1 day later. But she allowed the old lady whose house it was allowed us to stay another day, and she gave it for free. So
that was everything just worked out really well. So our furniture also arrived that day. it was just, yeah.
So you got the house,
way.
the house keys, and the next minute the truck arrived, and
Yes.
they
And
started
you know,
offing
our
everything.
things was in storage for more than a year. I didn't even know what I had, what I didn't have anymore.
I actually made a list of stuff that I needed to buy in New Zealand, and as I unpacked the furniture, so do I have one of those? I ticked it off the list. So half the list was already in the container. I just forgot. So
yeah.
yeah. Then life started for us in New Zealand.
Then
So
first he was working for someone. He had to on his visa. That was one of his
that was
visa
part of the
conditions. So he
That's the
had
nice
to
word.
work for someone for a year, and after a year, decided to go on his own.
Just over a year,
Yeah.
3 months or something like that.
And that was really hard. Even while he was working for someone, I didn't work, and I mean the salary that you got was really just. We barely made it.
We scraped the bottom, but we scraped it. We yeah.
And when he started his own business, I'm not aware, then we were thinking, what the hell did we do?
The big problem in something like insurance is in South Africa, or let me say in Cape Town, a lot of people knew about me, so they would advise their friends to come and invest with me and that type of things. But coming to New Zealand, you say, my name is Jan Viljoen, okay, and
yeah, so that was.
And then
really
you try to sell
hard.
insurance to the Kiwis. She'll be all right, mate.
I will never, ever, ever forget that morning that we looked at the bank account and there was $69 in the bank account.
Yep.
69. We didn't have any savings left from South Africa. That was it.
But that was also, I think, in a day later we got our first pay.
Yes.
Of my first commissions then at that stage.
Oh my word, yeah. It was really.
But we made it.
We made it, yeah.
That we made it. So
yeah, and I think our journey, we lived in Papamoa for a year. Then we moved to Welcome Bay into another rental, and we decided we're not moving again until we can buy a house. And you know how difficult
what the process that was.
You know how difficult it is.
We talked to every mortgage advisor, and they all had the same thing. Oh no, you've got a new business, blah 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 blah. Just too lazy to work. But no, I'm saying just too lazy to work, because they were too lazy to work. And so one night I was sitting on my Westpac account, and as I closed down the account, I saw that there was a thing that popped up. Do you qualify for a mortgage? I clicked yes, and we walked into the bank and we walked out with a mortgage within an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think it came from above, probably. Yeah. But
no, it had to be a bit. Just what time of the night I was still busy at the bank. I mean,
the thing is just don't always believe everything that everyone tells you. Don't rely on other people all the time. Sometimes you have to do something out of your own. Otherwise, something could have already happened and it didn't, because you didn't try hard enough.
And if anybody says to you no, try again.
Yeah.
Try
Keep
again.
on trying.
Try again.
So we were able to buy a house. I'm very fortunate to have been able to do that in our second year in New Zealand.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Someone was asking, hoe lank het julle PR gevat? It's 3 years.
That's 2 years.
No, from PR to residence. To citizenship is 3 years.
We got our residence. 2 years later, we got PR. That was in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
And then we got citizenship now. We're nearly 5 years in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So
March will be 5
March
years.
Next year will be 5 years. So
it's 5 years.
Yeah, it has been a journey. And I think if I have to say thanks to people, it will be probably Herman Ruud, our attorney. I won't name him this morning, the one that died. There's a few other people as well that came over my path, and just sometimes some of them, not always for the right reasons, came over my path, but some of them just affirmed that I had to stay, that I had to go for this. So yeah.
We met wonderful people on this journey.
Oh yeah, and I'm still meeting wonderful people. Jeez, it's unbelievable.
I really feel blessed with everyone that came on our path and everyone that's still part of our lives. It is just, I always say, and I will stick to that, the the relationships that you form in New Zealand are much deeper and stronger than the ones you did in South Africa.
That's absolutely a fact.
I don't know if it's because you're in a comfort zone in South Africa and it's just kind of your everyday life. In New Zealand, I don't know what it is. It's just that feeling, but you are just, the relationships are much deeper.
Yep. So, guys, that's our story in short. And we're here to stay. And we're not going to go on the dole. So
no, we're not going to Australia.
I see there was quite a few questions that people have asked. I'll have a look later and try and answer all of them. But yeah, that's our story. And if I can put anything out there today to anybody of you, if you get to that point where you think I'm going to give up, where you think this is not for me, where you've spent all that money and time to go to New Zealand and come here and have a bad experience, and now you want to go back, have a bit of resilience. Hang in there. The Afrikaans word is byt vas. It's going to get better. It's not going to get worse. Really, I promise you. And I see somebody saying eating a bit of 2-minute noodles. That's one of those things. If you have to eat those 2-minute noodles, you eat them.
But doesn't kill you, makes you stronger.
Makes you stronger. The problem also makes you fat. That's the other problem.
My son still loves the 2-minute noodles. He told us last night again that the 2-minute noodles in New Zealand are much better than the ones in South Africa.
Well, he has become a type of a gourmet cook on 2-minute noodles.
He loves it.
So it's good.
Yeah, so a lot of people saying that they received job offers and they're moving to New Zealand soon.
We are seeing that a lot of people are starting.
It's really
to get back
so
to the island.
heartwarming.
And we need you. We need you. We're running out of people that can do the work in this country. It's sad. Immigration has put a lot of brakes on that, but let's hope for the best. Okay, that's another 3 minutes left. You can probably just tell them that on the 15th of this month, it is December today. Yeah, it's December. On the 15th of December, we're going to bless somebody with $1,000. We have a little competition running. You would have seen it all over the internet. So somehow, we are going to give somebody $1,000 right before Christmas. And that will probably help you if you are thinking of having a little breakaway.
Someone is saying, here 2 months, hang in there. Yeah, fast bite.
And I want to say, the first 6 months probably was the worst for me.
Yeah.
Because I had to learn so much new things. I mean, at that stage, I don't want to learn anymore. I'm still learning, believe it or not.
Every day.
Every day I'm busy learning.
Every day.
But at that stage, I didn't want to learn a lot of new things. I had to. I was just absolutely forced to, pressed into the corner. There's no way. I had to fight my way out of that corner. And I promise you, I had some nasty South Africans, met some nasty South Africans as well, especially in my first year. Goodness me, other brokers. I can write a book about that, but I won't.
I think you'll get it. You'll get them everywhere.
You'll get them everywhere. If I got it in my type of situation, you'll get it where you are working. Yeah. You'll also get other nasty South Africans who is there and is just trying to break you down because they feel you are they are better than you. So, but face them and carry on. Tomorrow will be better.
Don't let anyone get you down. You just carry on, and you'll get come out on the other side much stronger.
Can I say something about the weather quickly?
Yes, the sun is shining.
The sun is shining, guys, and I always say that a good day on the island is a damn good day. Jeez, it looks beautiful outside.
Yeah. No, today is a good day in more than one.
In more than one perspective. All right. So the ones that are still waiting for your residence, your PR, your citizenship, guys, just hang in there. It's all worth it at the end of the day. Yeah. All right. So we'll see you next week. Same time.
And thank you for sharing our journey with us.
And then thank you to all my clients. You are the people that forces me to wake up every morning and just go on. If it wasn't for you guys, we probably wouldn't have been here. So thanks for the fact that you guys have got trust in me. And yeah, it makes you all very, very special. That's that.
Okay.
All right.
Have a good day.
Before you cry, let's call it a day. Stay well. See you next week. Same time, same place.
Bye. Bye.